temporary interrogation room. Interesting little area. Is that little light area? Like the makeup mirror? Welcome to the world of interrogations. It's rather admirable you've dragged yourself all this way to help, Note. I guess the Note nickname is catching on. In the beginning, it was my job to decide on nicknames within the Mana Affairs division. But this time, it looks like Pandy beat me to it. Speaking of the whole Pandy thing, you're talking about Sergeant Pandoria Redfines, right? I'm not sure how appropriate it is to call a superior officer by a nickname. A nickname is part of one's identity. It's what you need to survive when you work in this field. What field is she working in where this is normal for her? I don't know who this is, so I'm guessing it's Yola, but excuse me, how long am I going to have to wait? Oh. She has a unique little costume. Scary looking clown. Is that an upside down top hat? I would like to get this over with. This woman, is she Yola Geller? That's not how you say my name. Yola Geller? That's not, okay. That she is! Would you like to introduce yourself? Hello, miss. I'm, No Trick Case of the Mana Affairs Division. No need for introductions. I won't remember you anyway. You're a staffer, right, Miss Geller? I've heard you were gifted with telekinesis? You should have all my information since I gave you my file before. Can't you figure it out from what's written there? With all the strange jargon on that document, I honestly couldn't have told you from a look. Sorry, this guy's a rookie. Could you give him a demonstration? If I must, stay back while I'm using my skill. You only make it hard to control. Ah, of course. Well, I could show you with this pen. Ugh. She just stabs into her hand. See? It's levitating. Oh my god, are you okay? How's that? Oh. Not very impressive. That's it? The pen's floating. Aren't you impressed? What more do you want from me? How can I put this? That magic trick sucks ass. No, you're guilty of being a terrible clown. What? Since it's less of a magic trick and more of an actual supernatural ability, I find myself quite disinterested all of a sudden. Would your audience members really enjoy something like this? Are you in your right mind? Of course I perform different stunts on stage. That was just to show you my skill. Amateur. Miss Geller, I heard you're a clown here at Trump Tower. You're not very funny, but your personality doesn't seem all that cheerful. Don't say that in front of the person you're interrogating. Obviously, I put on a cheery act when I take the stage, but do you really expect a clown to act so ludicrously in real life? Chumps like you who can't distinguish fiction from reality are the reasons Vladimir Nabokova caught us so much heat. What the was that? Vladimir Putin? I have no idea who that is. Sorry, Mr. Nabokova. More importantly, I've already said all I have to say. Why am I here? Aha! Ahaha! Miss Geller! You're here because of Note here. He helped make you not suspicious, so don't be a dick to him. That's what I'm saying, huh? We were just about to conclude you're our culprit, but Note voices objections. Wait, I'm sorry for saying such mean things to you. In fact, Note's the whole reason you're getting a second chance. So be nice to him. However, you should think carefully about what you say from now on, alright? All right. Right up against the table, please. Okay. Hey, no. Don't get pushed around like that. Put your foot down. Slap her. What the? Huh? It's good to be polite and all, but now's not the time. A detective shouldn't be looked down upon. Understood? Yes, I understand. I mean, not that you've got the most polite way of speaking ever. So, Miss Geller, I've got a question for you. Did you kill him? All right. About the day in question, before you happened upon the body, did you see the victim at all? Since we already know everything, I think twice about lying. I will shoot you if you lie. Yes, I did. The ringleader called me in 7:30, so I went to see him. That lines up with the trace photo. You have a photo? God, no need to get into that. Don't spoil the fun. More importantly, we'd like you to tell us what happened at 7:30. I'm sorry, but I'd rather not talk about what happened then. Could you give me some more time regarding that matter? Okay. Send her to jail. Then perhaps we should hear from someone else first? Okay, very well then. Oh, that was just a top hat on the thing. Okay, she's not wearing an upside down hat, top hat. Also, I love like she's just like grinding the chair. She's scraping the chair. She's not even standing up. She just scrapes the chair all the way to the door and then gets up to leave. Wouldn't it have been better to pry a little further? We can pry later. If you push her too hard, I'll have a harder time to detect abnormal heartbeats. More importantly than that, note, you almost got us into a heap of trouble, you know? Huh? The fact that we used our skills on suspects is strictly confidential. If they're aware of our skills, they could make up counters to them. Ooh. Oh, sorry. I didn't think about that. Seriously, I haven't figured out if you're a genius or a dunce. Watch your mouth, okay? If one of the suspects caught word... Excuse me. So that's what I said, and, would you rather eat that if it tasted like ice cream, or ice cream if it tasted like that? No, I'd rather eat pickles than that. If you're going to change the subject, can you pick a better topic? That's sort of gross. That's all I could think of in the heat of the moment. I have something to say before I feel like I started out a bit harsh. With everything going on, I've been a bit touchy and, thank you for the second chance, Detective No Trick Case. That's all I wanted to say. Screech. The chair screeches right back to the door. Wow, that's a development, huh? She just thought wouldn't be a bad idea getting in close with a detective. Still, she heard ya. She even remembered your name, no? Hey, you might get lucky, you know? Go on a date after that. I don't want to be dating a clown. I'm sorry. I don't want to be fucking crazy. True. It's quite nice to hear honest gratitude. After all, we don't hear it often. Detective Brian, again with the spork. So you bring in the suspects? Indeed, both of them are waiting outside. Great, lead them in one at a time. Let's start with the block. The block. All right, who is this? Who's the king of foreheads over here? Magician Frederick Varnon at your service. Whoa, there's a hairstyle you could spot in a crowd. You could lose your soul in a hand of cards to hair like that. It's just up in the air. What's so crazy about that? Hair like what exactly? No, have you still not seen his birth file? Here it is, have a look. let me get my magnifying glass out. Frederick Vernon's skill is radial ignite. Alright, Colt. He's got that thing on him. Max 1.2 meters. Temperature of flame ranges from able to use in oxygen-free environments. So he blasted the statue. Okay. Ignition means he can light fires, right? And does this part mean it radiates outwards from a center point? Oh yeah, he exploded the head of the statue. Oh my god. Simple enough. Seems like something you men would enjoy. What is that supposed to mean, Thena? I'm just glad it's easier to understand than indiscernible object manipulation. What the fuck does that mean? Most of my magic makes use of my skill. Things like setting fire to targets and the like. He's doing the anime push-up glass like he's annoyed. I'd love to show you, but that may be difficult due to the risk of starting a fire. That's quite alright. There are those skillful enough to fool us about their skills, making it necessary to check them out. But since you're a troop member here at Trump Tower, uses your skills during your performance, pulling the wool over our eyes is impossible. Still, can you really call using a skill... Wait, can you really call using a skill a magic trick? Magic normally relies on illusions. Even if I did magic without using my skill, do you think anyone would believe it was a trick? The city is filled with staffers. I decided that instead of trying my hardest to conceal my powers and be called a fraud, I'd openly show them. Thankfully, the response was satisfactory. Plus, there's something romantic about a man who could shoot fire out of his hands. I don't know about that. Imagine... Alright, well... Imagine this, okay? Imagine this. This guy's having, banging someone. He's about to, about to do a certain action. And he gets all heated up. He goes, and then just explodes their head. I can't control this skill very well. I've exploded 3 of my ex's heads. That may just be your personal preference speaking. But, sorry. Calling you in here so suddenly must be quite the inconvenience, yes? No, it's quite alright. The man wearing the monocle provided me with a blanket and a spot of tea after turning on some classic music. Seems like the Burr treats their suspects quite nicely. It means, it's the man wearing the monocle who goes to the strange lengths. More importantly, I'd like to move on to discussing the case. That's why you called me, is it not? Should we? Then please, scoot in close to the table. Well then, could you tell me about the last time you saw the deceased? If you'd like. This is Mr. Vernon. He doesn't seem as hot as this hairstyle makes him out to be. Okay. I like his suit. He looks nice. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I investigated the scene of the crime at about 8:30. It was due to a personal matters I had to discuss with the victim. I knocked on the door for almost 5 minutes, but there was no response. I couldn't hear the slightest bit of movement from inside. So I just went back to what I was doing. I didn't go inside. I couldn't have killed him, okay? Besides, there's no hard feelings between him and I. Well, okay, there's that. That's all I know. Well, I see the little suspicious thing off the bat. Shorter statement than I imagined. He seems like he had a lot to say. Well, that's why you shouldn't judge based on appearances. No, with hair like that? He should be ending every sentence with fire. Or at the very least, he could add in some passion, no? I didn't kill... Is this better? I didn't kill him. Fire. I had no hard feelings. Fire. I didn't brutally murder that man, bashing his head in with a murder weapon. Fire. So ridiculously rude. It's almost admirable. Anyway, first things first. Check out the statements we got so far, no? Alright, let's see here. We got 2 new documents. Vernon's burr file and a statement. We should take a close look at them. Since I'm not a staffer, the only thing I can do to help is look for clues within the documents written by others. Let's think. If I could find something worth noting and point it out, I might just be able to find another clue. I think I know what it's gonna be. That abnormal heartbeat. Why are you so scared? Burp, 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 burp. Why? Oh. Wait, what? Oh, okay, there we go. That's weird, right? Yeah! Why are you so emotional for not having any hard feelings? Let's break apart this Vernon's testimony. Now another look at the witness's... Take another look at the witness's statement. Don't you notice anything strange? Ah, you're right! I detected an abnormal heartbeat during the last line of his statement. You're the one who detected it. How did you not pick that up? Mr. Vernon is much more calm than his appearance would have us believe. Even though he wasn't talking about death, you detected an abnormal heartbeat, meaning he was lying. Dude, I had his voice in the first stream. Now it's like, I barely seen him, so I'm like, who is this man? Wow, not even familiar with all the new terms, but you're already figuring it out faster than Athena used her skill. Stupendous. The false part of the statement is, besides, there were no hard feelings between him and I, right? In other words, Mr. Vernon did have a problem with the deceased, huh? That's right. We should get another statement regarding that part then. Is there a problem? Mr. Vernon, you said there was no hard feelings between you and the victim, right? Yes, that's right. I'm sure you know the difficulties that may arise if we find out you're lying to us. I have no idea what you're talking about. The ringleader and I weren't exactly friends, but there was no friction between us. It's not gonna work. He's gonna keep dodging us to the bitter end. What? You're calling it quits there? You know, there was an obvious lie. But there's no use. If he finds out about my skill, he'll refuse to tell us anymore. In cases like this, it's best to find something he can't talk his way out of. Something he can't talk his way out of. The statue, right? You've got to present undeniable evidence to the suspect. Evidence that proves the statement was a lie. Evidence that proves the statement was a lie? Things aren't all bad yet. We can't get another statement, but we know which part was a lie. All we have to do is find a clue that contradicts the first statement. So, do I have any evidence of a fight between our victim and Vernon? Proof that Mr. Vernon's statement is false. In other words, we have to find a clue that Mr. Vernon was on bad terms with the victim, right? If I can connect that clue with the false part of his statement, I could bring Mr. Vernon's lie to light. I should look through the document we've uncovered thus far. Maybe there's a clue that will tell us about the sort of relationship Mr. Vernon had with the deceased. Okay. What if I hit Brent? Is it just his last statement? Ah. Okay. Can we do this? Will this be enough? No. Okay. Restart, okay. Maybe this? There, okay. I thought we had to like connect it with his staff ability, but okay. Alright. I was on the right track. Detective Athena, did you happen to see the odd decoration during the scene of the crime? Huh? Oh, I think I saw it. Are you talking about that work of art only people in the know could appreciate? Well, actually, I was just gonna say how beautiful the statue was, but I guess it's terrible. You know, the different tastes, I guess. Work of art. Was there such a work? You don't know? It's displayed right next to the bookshelf. Of course, Mr. Vernon doesn't know. It's no simple work of art after all. It was a bust modeled after the victim. Really? Then why does it look like it was swallowed up by the abyss? According to the sergeant's investigation, someone melted it down with a powerful flame. I wonder who could do that. I don't know anything about flames. You literally have flames in your chat. Your whole theme is flame. Oh, I have no idea. What? Aha! Fire, huh? How do you think that happened? There wasn't exactly a bonfire in that room, and there were no signs the bus was carried out. Is it even possible to make a bus look like that? The only way that's possible is if it was done by a staffer with an ignition skill. I wonder if we know any of those. That staffer must have absolutely hated the victim. The nerve required to make a bust of the victim into an abstract artwork. Mr. Vernon. Yes? With you and the victim, things were bad, huh? I would like to apologize. Oh? Okay. Logical. Oh, what? Someone's talking in my head. Oh, why is Brian here now? Why lie? I don't remember his voice at all. I'm sorry. I feared that if you found out, I'd get into a scuffle with the ringleader. You might turn your suspicion towards me. I thought about being honest with you, but you are all part of the burr, right? Why does that matter? You're right. Since I'm also a staffer, I figured showing weakness in front of the burr, but let's just say I had a bad feeling about it. I've heard that from the burr. I've heard that the burr has a bad reputation, at least at first glance. I had no idea people trust us this little. No, it's not even a question of trust. I feel like Mr. Vernon is actually terrified of us. I'm not completely unaware of what you may be feeling, but making false statements will only hurt you in the end. I'm gonna write up a new statement. Will you be honest this time? I will. Oh, Alright, lock in. Speech review. No one could have gotten along with that man. He never had the greatest personality, but it only got worse with these past few days. I'm aware that he's amassed quite the gambling debt, so I'd wager that's probably the reason. He was crossing the line with how much slander he threw our way, and Geller got the lion's share. Oh? The only thing he could do was jump high. So he asked a whole lot from the rest of us. Jump high? But no, I don't think it's that easy. And the first thing that popped in my mind was, did he just jump up and kill himself? He's just like sleeping. He had a bad dream. Like, oh my god. He just jumps, bam, falls back down and dies. Killed by a nightmare. We ended up getting into a yelling match 2 days before the incident. Nothing good was said, so I kept it secret from the others. That's when I got angry and burned the sculpture. Even now, I think I went too far. That's why I went to apologize to him the day of the incident. Is this all I'll get out of him? Is he the one who forced you to style your hair that weird? Yes. Yes, the ringleader took his directive role very seriously to an odd degree. He forced me to act like I'm this character full of passion. At the end of every speech, it's fire or something similar that puts the exclamation point on what I'm saying. Fire. That's how Athena would have thought, or would have have you do it. No, it isn't. The thought never crossed my mind. Did too. If the victim really was like that, why'd you stay at the circus this whole time? There must have been a way to shift careers. There was not. No other tropes would accept us, I can assure you that. Huh? Regardless, that's all I have for you. Sorry to disturb your investigation. Shall I call in our next suspect then? I just did.